I think this is going to be extremely unpredictable. One of the advantages Complexity feel they have is that, they've been off the radar for 2 months, but I don't know how many people have been watching HellRaisers, and also I think that once you know who your first opponent is going to be in this series, you're playing so many different teams potentially. Like, how much can you realistically put into the other teams? You're not going to be going too deep, I don't think, in the counter strats and so on. And this is a very unusual HellRaisers team to ones that we've seen in the past, which we'll get into once we look at the roster in more detail. So I honestly, I want to see Complexity do well, just as a team and as a brand, generally speaking. But we're still yet to see that. Again, they lost a close one to a Vanguard. Like Shazam, still the primary sniper. Obo has been a revelation in the short few games we've seen from him. Quite adept with the mini AWP, the Desert Eagle. And again, very, very low stats. We can't even really talk about their map pool just yet because we've barely seen it.
Yeah, there's nothing really there's no data on Complexity, and as you say, that is one of the things they think they have going for them. However, HellRaisers aren't quite the sort of team with the roster that they have that are really going to care all too much about that. HellRaisers, as you can see here, there's a lot of skill on this team.
Yeah, but have a look at this team. They've got Lowell.
Oscar, Lowell's obviously one of the best Spanish players. Angel's proven himself time and again as a leader. Oscar, obviously, we know him from Mouse Sports, where he really showed the world that he was one of the best players when he was on top of his game.
He looks a bit crazy taxi in that photo.
Yeah, I love the glasses.
Yeah.
And
taxi driver, not crazy taxi.
The addition of Nuclear as well. So it's a very explosive team, and with a map like... Wait, we haven't seen the map Vetoes just yet.
We haven't seen the Vetoes yet, no, Dan. We haven't.
So I'm getting ahead of myself. So it's an explosive team. So you don't know what you're going to get from HellRaisers, and from a different, in a different way, you still don't know what you're going to get from Complexity either. So it's such an enigma, these two teams in this matchup. I cannot wait to see how it actually plays out.
HellRaisers have been missing in terms of the top flight Counter-Strike for a while. So I haven't seen them play with this roster. I haven't seen them play with Lowell or Oscar or Nuki. So this is an interesting one for me. Again, a very storied brand at this point. Angel's been there forever as well. And now we'll see what kind of veto we've got coming into HellRaisers vetoing Nuke and Vertigo. I'm going to get the statistics up on the machine we've got here for the maps between these players. Okay, there we go. So let's see what Complexity are going to veto. They'll get rid of Train. Again, we can't really read into it from Complexity, really. We could just look at HellRaisers. But yeah, HellRaisers' map pool in the last 3 months is not spectacular from the maps they've played. They're 22% on Inferno. They're 33% on Nuke, 50% on Dust 2, 60% on Overpass, which seems to be their first one, their best map at the moment. So they've left Inferno open. With 9 maps played, HellRaisers are 22% on Inferno. And again, we don't know what to expect from Complexity. They lost Inferno earlier.
Yeah.
But who the hell knows?
And this is the thing, like, for both teams, you want to avoid any of the specialist maps. Like, for example, one of the most important maps at this point to kind of add to your map pool is actually Nuke, because it's just the way that the vetoes go. Nuke can often be left in potentially by teams, and because of also a lot of teams don't really want to run Vertigo as well. You get this kind of interesting situation when it does come to the vetoes, and so you get the safe pick from both teams. As you say, James, win rates aren't amazing, but I don't know how much we can read into the statistics. Because for one thing, with the likes of HellRaisers, a lot of those statistics aren't necessarily going to be around the kinds of quality that we're going to find at this stage of a major. And the same thing with the Complexity, they don't really have a record with this team just yet because they've been absent for a couple months. So ultimately, this is an emotional pick. It's a comfort pick for both teams, and I think it's the pick that will give us the best game.
Yeah, I think when you see that HellRaisers are 22%, if you think about it, their average across the maps is probably about 30 anyway. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not really as bad as it might be if they were up in like the 70s and 80s on some other maps. So it is, even though the stats are bad, doesn't mean that they'll never win on it, obviously. And I think there's gonna be some comfort there based on familiarity. We can see Keita, number 6, just behind Obo's head there, from the UK. He is a brainiac. If you're not from the UK, you might not know so much about Keita, but he has a great mind for Counter-Strike, and he nerds out. Like, he's often, before he picked up this role, he was often working in our productions as well, with the likes of Sliggy and so on. And like, when we're not live and we're playing Counter-Strike or discussing Counter-Strike, he's basically got something to say for every situation or funky flashbangs or all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he is a very smart gentleman as far as Counter-Strike is concerned. And I'm really glad that Complexity picked him up. I think it's a great opportunity for him.
I think it makes sense as well in terms of there's two types of coaches that we tend to see. And I think we're lacking one of these types, and it's kind of like the Zeus type, with the leader of men type of coach. But I feel like Def provides that role fairly well in this team. And the great thing with Keita is he fulfills the other role, like let's say like Adren on Liquid. You know, as you said, James, the brainiac, the guy that's going to give you the insights you need on your opponents, but is also going to give you the insights, more importantly, into the fundamentals and the areas in which your game is weak. And he'll be able to see things, hopefully, he'll be able to stop bad things from happening before they get there and course correct if needed. So he is, I think, a really good fit.
Yeah. So we see the odds on GGBet and Strafe 50-50 pretty much. And I think that's reasonable because who the hell knows what to expect. I think this could be absolutely wild. I think, and even if you're a fan of either of these rosters, if you will, because maybe we can't even go further than that, honestly, don't know what to expect. I saw Jason Lake very briefly earlier on. I still need to go and give him a proper hello. But for the initial match, Complexity, he was down at the front, shouting as always, giving the team some great encouragement. A great icon and talisman for not only his team, but for Counter-Strike in general. Always here supporting his team.
Who do you think will win, James?
I don't know.
I'm going Complexity.
You can't pick a team.
Yeah, you can. I
suppose, I mean, technically, yes, you can. But maybe you shouldn't is the right word.
Well,
I can't tell you what to do.
I will.
But for me, the data isn't there. I said that on Twitter, which is why I kind of want to pick Complexity. I want to see them do well, but I didn't put them in the pick'ems. I'm not on the fence. I feel like, for one time, I don't think I am in the terms of pick'ems. I'm like, I haven't seen data. I don't know. I can't pick them because I don't know anything about them. Yeah, but Counter-Strike's deeper than that.
Come on,
so we have Complexity starting on the CT side. We've got to have 3 players towards the A-bomb site, having a look in the apartments as well. Not getting shy, and not being shy might cost him. Shazam taken out early, as is Def. Unanswered frags, courtesy of HellRaisers.
Yeah, definitely a tough one. Nice pop, though, from Obo to make the load slightly easier to handle, but Six going to have to get 1 or 2, but he's been dinked immediately. At least he is alive, but for how much longer? He'll try to hold on to this position, dodging the HE grenade. Obo looks like he got dinked at range as well, so everybody is effectively a bullet away from death here on the CT side. That does not bode well whatsoever for the prospects of Complexity, and perhaps they have to start to think about the ways that they're going to try to attack this situation. They just try to go for some exits, but there's a quick trade. Nice headshot from Obo once again. And oh dear, Ricky just spamming away there. Sick will walk into that. Oh, what the hell was that shot from Ricky? Now just 1 more to go. All he has to do is find a headshot. How hard could that be? Nuka coming around the corner, and there was a chance, but Ricky will be shut down. It was a good effort, all things considered, but it will be the round for HellRaisers.
He needed to find a kit as well, so I think it was purely about the bonus money in that situation for him. HellRaisers get off to a good start, and they've got a pretty good spawn as well, which you'll see soon enough. If they want to take Banana quickly with some flashbangs, then they may have the opportunity to do that with some SMGs. We'll see what they choose to do. Maybe they want to avert risk and go slow instead. Complexity are going to be forcing it up, however. We've got the grenades coming out as well as the pistols, the CZs and such. So Nuki with the UMP. See what he chooses to do. So he won't be rushing up Banana too quickly. They get the mollies there, but it will be actually Angel with the Mac-10 leading the charge. I love the double nade. We like the attention to detail. We've got some grenades towards the tree from the CTs as well, but there's nobody by the tree. No tree surgeons on HellRaisers. In the meantime, Issa has started the proceedings in the apartments. Again, the usual stuff. Take Banana, take apartments, take the options and the positions away from the CTs. But again, it has been slow on Banana, but we've still got a few HEs here. Def trying to get something done. He's got Sick in tow as well, but they'll both be taken out. There's a 3rd player on the bomb site. They'll know that due to the grenades. Ricky hiding behind New Box. Rotation coming in from Obo. So far, so good on the anti-eco. Ricky gets 1 frag, but they haven't over-invested in this HellRaisers. Actually expecting a rotation. Seems that Angel, or not Angel rather, Nuki will entertain a little. He supposed a grenade out. I mean, you have to check that position. That's one of the most common places for a CT on the A-bomb site. But not being shot immediately. Pulled a grenade out and died. 3 versus 2. Nuki's heavily tagged, and the CTs don't have much to lose here. So this is a dangerous waters for the HellRaisers.
Yeah, it certainly is. Again, we know Obo to be strong with the Deeg. He's looking to see what he can find. Any wayward HellRaisers players, but they are not so foolish as to overstep. And given the lack of a kit, and now the lack of really any chance whatsoever, Rikke obviously just sitting towards that B bomb site. That will be the round for HellRaisers. So 2 in a row, some decent damage done here by Complexity, but they did invest a lot for it. At the very least, Rikke's kept himself alive with the Kevlar helmets, the MAC-10 and the Deagle, one of which of those weapons could be dropped to a teammate in the following round.
Yeah, the main thing I know about Nuki is that on a skin website, I think he was selling some skins on there, and it was like Nuki skins. Like on the front page is a featured person or something.
Really?
I know that's
oh,
like how I first came across his name. I was like, okay, this dude is like some kind of, you know, Counter-Strike notable player trying to flog some skins on this website.
Nice.
Anyway, Molotov towards top banana. Nothing unusual going on just yet. A quick boost from Shazam with the Desert Eagle. I like that attempt, actually. He is very noted in North America for his prowess with pistols. So it's nice to see a little investment there, but nothing doing just yet. Obo, the other guy with the Deagles, who at ECS showed himself to be quite a dab hand. Dan was certainly a fan. Has got a Desert Eagle as well, but nothing just yet.
Rikke, sitting there with the MAC-10, hoping someone might step his way. But in fact, the MAC-10 will be quite useless here. Although there is a silver lining in that Complexity don't have to worry about, well, rather, sorry, HellRaisers don't have to worry about anyone on this bomb site, but they won't get any money for the kills with those MAC-10s, which is maybe partially what Complexity are playing for here. You can try to set up creatively as the CTs for exit kills so that you can kind of steal guns away. And you can see Shazam, it's got the Deagle there, and he might be able to get some additional economic damage here, which is worth it if you can find some good spots for it. And the rest of Complexity will make their way towards the bottom of Banana, but they're a little bit too slow to this. Nuki's already gained position in this area, and she's struggling. Obo does take him down, but the gun is unrecoverable. How much more damage is it handed for Complexity?
No.
There you go. Rick is in position.
Are they going to lose the AK now?
That should be okay here.
But he needs to collect it. One of these MAC-10 boys has got to go and get that upgrade.
It's good damage, though.
And Ricke's just standing there with a MAC-10. They're going to play it safe and not go for it. Shazam's getting greedy, though. Props to production for going back and seeing that there was going to be an engagement. I don't always get to see that, so respect. And looks like Angel needs some kind of help. So, yeah, a little awkward there. An AK lost, but not an AK gained by the CTs. So we are at 3-0 in favor of HellRaisers. A technical pause. Angel's like, I just want some ginger to take this taste out of my mouth. So we'll see what's going on over there. In the meantime, no talking allowed. All right, 3-0 in favor of HellRaisers. Complexity have got some rifles. They've got some M4s out. Obo's picked up an AUG. Shazam's got 5950 in the bank, so the AWP will be coming out. So, again, Rikke is also a sniper player, but he is quite nimble, quite versatile, likes to rifle as well, and is a notable rifler. So Shazam will pick up the primary AWP. And again, Shazam has made huge strides in his AWPing, and mainly in his decision-making rather than his aim. I mean, he's got pretty good aim, but the decision-making has definitely been what has had leaps and strides in his progress from when he first came onto the scene. I think it was Cloud9 he was picked up by way too early. And you could see all the mistakes he was making and so on, but he's definitely earned his stripes and is quite the sniper now.
So lots to be done here for HellRaisers, who are going to be carrying at least one MAC-10, I would imagine, into this next round. Of course, hopefully we'll be able to get to see how that plays out sooner than later, but a lot of pressure on Complexity in this round when we get the unpause, which will come in right now. Beautifully timed. The AWP on Shazam. What is he able to do with this? Only the single flashbang, not a single kit on the CT side. They have a few helmets, which will be useful again. Double Mac 10s here for HellRaisers. Might pick a fast one towards the apartments. There's a quick molly into the apps. But into the smoke it will go, and it will be promptly extinguished. Now, Complexity will get a boost here for Ricky. This is quite a nice move. Everyone goes through the balcony. That could cause some problems, though, but...
This is a nice angle. So you can mix it up. You can be on the porch roof, or you can be in this position, catch a player from boiler. You're never getting pre-fired in this angle. They're always going to be looking lower unless they're absolutely crazy or you're just mad predictable. So we'll see what he can do. He still needs to avoid the flashbangs, but he eats one, forced off his position, and this is going to be a complete disaster, it looks like, for Complexity. Ricky only good for 1, 3 versus 2 in favor of HellRaisers. Bomb needs to be collected. In the meantime, Shazam equals the numbers, but Def is still sticking towards the B bomb site. In Shazam, they trust. Creeping around the arch position are the 2 HellRaisers players, and maybe Def's patience might pay off. We've got HellRaisers moving towards the library area. Now, they heard the footsteps. They know at least one player is towards A. They don't know if anyone's towards B, and that's got to be a frag for Def, but it's not.
Ooh. That is unfortunate because Shazam had just pushed top mid, so they knew that it was going to be B. So I don't think, if the timing's different, I don't think that Def ever commits to a push there. I think he just waits in an unknown position, but instead he gets caught on the peak, he commits to it, and now it's down to Shazam, and nice frag there from Shazam. The correction on the spray, good for the headshot. Now it's just Nuki left. He's got an M4 and 7 HP, and he's playing from CT spawn, and he's smoked off. Shazam can't know where he is, though. And is he just going to go for the hole? He has no kit, of course, and Nuki will take him down with the lineup from distance. Beautiful stuff there from him. And indeed, that was so marginal, because if Def just holds for another couple seconds, I don't think he peaks, because Shazam has the information.
Well, they could have still gone library, technically. But I guess it was more likely they were going to go towards B in that position. But Oscar almost threw that one away. He gave a 1v1, trying to squeeze his way over towards CT, but he didn't know how much time he had. I suppose there was a safer approach around construction, but there we go. It is still won by HellRaisers. They have that 4-0, and they've kept Complexity poor on the pistols with a few grenades on the CT side. So it seems Complexity will try to force an error out of the HellRaisers squad with these smoke grenades, although I say that, they've all been deployed with a minute 30 on the clock, so not the play we were expecting to see. It'll be down to the grenades mostly, sorry, the guns after this, although Ricky towards Arch has an incendiary. 6 picks up some Kevlar. Everybody else is naked. I always wonder about things like that. I want to say it's Lurpis who's a kind of stickler for that. I don't know. I mean, for me, it's like in the long run, in the future rounds, that money may have more value in a grenade that you might otherwise not have, rather. Maybe 3 rounds from now, but we'll see. HellRaisers pressing on towards the B bomb site. The bomb is still bottom mid, being collected now. Looking for the counter grenades. Looking for any pop flash plays, maybe pushes through the smoke, nothing doing just yet. Angel with a HE behind the new box position, ready for Shazam. And again, not really over-investing immediately, being very, very careful. It's an important tournament for HellRaisers, especially with this roster. And they will not want to make any mistakes.
3 players left for Complexity here, and obviously looking at your options for a retake, it's just an impossible situation. So you're thinking about X's perhaps. Nice peek from Opo, the jiggle with the deagle. You can see that in the previous spot, he was kind of hungry to try to get the frags, and he finds another headshot. Finally, he'll be taken down. Brilliant damage with that deeg. And Sick is in not a bad spot, but unfortunately, he won't be looking at the right spot. And that'll be another round for HellRaisers. Great start on their T side. Complexity struggling to find footing on the CT side of Inferno. And another big buy coming back in for them. And here's the beautiful jiggle from Obo. Lovely stuff from the youngster. I love how the second shot was pretty much identical to the first in terms of execution. This is the moment, I feel like, James. If Complexity want to have a competitive Inferno, they really need to turn it around. It's got to stop HellRaisers from building this money, building this momentum.
Shazam and Obo top mid. Obo having a look in the boiler position. A little jiggle. Timing HE grenade, but HellRaisers are taking it slow. HellRaisers do not want to allow Complexity back into this. Even though it's 5-0 for HellRaisers, they haven't really built loads of money. If you look at the likes of Lowell, Angel, Oscar, not very far beyond the $3,000 mark. So they may still feel a little brittle, HellRaisers, despite the 8K on the likes of Nuki. You'd want to have more money than this at this point, and there's still a chance for Complexity to turn things around. So HellRaisers will still need to build. They're clearing the top mid position. You can see them bursting on the radar, forcing the CTs back, denying them information. You can see Rikke starting to rotate on Speedway, as is Sick. They're leaving Def alone on Banana, jump peeking with a flashbang. No smokes or anything. Only Rikke has a smoke, actually. You can see him considering it. Using area control and exchange of Molotovs. And that is a great smoke grenade with 40 seconds on the clock. HellRaisers all top mid. What do they choose to do?
Well, it's like they're going to be falling back for some play towards Banana. Flashbang will be tossed by Mr. Def as Oscar takes down Shazam, and that causes quite some issues. We'll have a rotation from Rikke to assist Def on B, and he's going to need quite some assistance here as he's against the entire force of HellRaisers, moving in 5 strong, straight through, and now up towards Coffins. They've smoked it off. The bomb plant is available in time. Ooh, Nuki, oh my god, that would have been really problematic. Oh, Def can't complete the kill there through the Coffins. There's a retake City for Complexity, should they decide to go for it. Their money absolutely sucks. The smoke is... I don't know if the smoke is... Actually, the smoke is not up here. They have to try to escape with a flashbang and pray that no one peeks them, and they will get out of there. So they will go for the full save. Sick will pick up a kill, though. But it's the round lost.
Yeah, somewhat of a gamble rotation from HellRaisers. They didn't have presence or control of the Banana position. But I respect it. The smoke, well timed on the arch position, kind of denied them a lot of options towards the A bomb site, so they chose to snap rotate. They made it quick, made no bones about it. Now, one of the issues there for HellRaisers, sorry, for Complexity on the B bomb site, Def makes his way towards the Coffins, and Rikke rotates towards CT, but there's no flash. If there's a flash, he can do a pop flash through the smoke towards Pool. He can do a deep flash onto the site with his teammate, say, behind new box or something, so he can face and try and slow them down, something like that. But he just didn't have any utility to make any kind of play. So Def was just forced to give up the bomb site. However, almost got a kill spraying through the Coffins, which is the more common plant now in professional CS on Inferno, is the elevated plant on the Coffin rather than behind the Coffin. Ooh, we've got an aggressive play towards the bench position, and Oscar just about hasn't seen the first player, but he'll see Obo. Something sticking out. Obo gets tagged. Rikke still facing the wall, but for how long can he stand here without being taken out? He'll be taken out, in fact, by Oscar. Made a play, didn't work out. 4 plays still survive for, still alive for Complexity. They've still got a fair amount of utility as well. Ooh, Angel's being spotted by the bench. He's stuck now. Obo holding the line while a Molotov is dropped, but he's able to escape. Very tight situation, but still 9 players alive.
Minutes ago, though, so HellRaisers need to start making some inroads in terms of map control. Of course, Banana is quite available, which Angel will find out. He's only got 2 HP, and he's rushing up there. Has found himself some presence. Speaking of which, Issa's lost presence in Boiler. Good kill coming in on the tight angle from Death the Pixel. Oh, Obo, very, very nice one to find there in middle. And so 2 quick kills have gone to Complexity around middle. So Complexity are more suspicious of an A play, but here it is. HellRaisers have outmaneuvered them. Quick rotation from Obo as quick as he can make it, but Shazam has to hold on, and hold on he will. The AWP will deliver at least the first kill.
A great smoke to create some space, but trying to rotate Oscar will take him out. Still a man advantage for Complexity. Obo's in position now. The smoke is up. The Molotov behind it. The bomb needs to go down quickly, and it will. The bomb planted on the B bomb site. Nobody coming from Banana, but HellRaisers do not necessarily know that. Oscar by the new box position. There are no grenades for Complexity. Nothing but dry peaks. The driest peaks. No lotion for them. 2 versus 2. M4's on Sick and Def. Sick making his way behind Def from CT. Can one play off the other? Spotting a player in Pool, doing nothing about it. Oscar peeks out. Perfect timing from him. Expecting a second player rather, to be looking towards the Pool should somebody be there. Great response from him. 7-0 for HellRaisers.
Kind of regretting my pick. Yes, it is so looking so good for HellRaisers. What a beautiful couple kills from Oscar. That's such a tight peak to get, and that's like just pure reactions. Oscar's looking dangerous. He's looking angry. And that's a huge issue. HellRaisers in pole position. They are far ahead in the race to those 16 rounds right now. And look at a typical start from Complexity. 3 towards B at the beginning for the utility exchange. There's a challenge from HellRaisers. They may just keep these 3 players here for a moment longer. Oh my, good awareness, good knowledge from Def, just doing the rounds there. Pick up one. Oh my god, they've got 3 bits of utility left, James. Oh dear, that's not good on the CT side of Inferno.
Well, the 5 versus 4 may make up for it. A worthwhile investment, perhaps. The banana is with HellRaisers, who have cleared out the apartments. Reloads will be heard, and those sound cues may give Complexity an idea that perhaps they're moving away. I don't know. It's kind of early for that, so in fact, Shazam will be moving towards the A-bomb site rather than B. I don't really think you can read too much from that reload sound. All right, then. Even though it's a 5 versus 4 in favor of Complexity, it's a 4 versus 2 on this B bomb site. And again, once you take position, well, there's one flashbang for Complexity, and that's about it. And that's with Sick. So it's not even potentially for a retake. Complexity not rotating at all, while HellRaisers creep into this B bomb site. There's one underneath Def. He's got no idea, but there's a fair chance he gets a kill out of this. Doesn't seem like this has been checked for whatsoever. There is the trade. Now you've got Shazam making his way to CT spawn, but Def should know that that's already been compromised. Shazam's creeping. Now, if no one gives up a frag in this situation, then it might be okay, but got to be careful planting this bomb. The smoke is still up for the time being. There's a flashbang to buy some more time, but Complexity are so close.
He's trying to get some position there. Oh my goodness, taking some damage. He got a bit of coverage there from the bricks and that archway. The beeping continues to get slowly but surely faster. In comes Complexity, but there they go as well. And you keep with 2 kills. And that might be all she wrote for this one for Complexity, because Rick is on 6 HP. And the time is really against him here. He's got to go quickly. Well, I was expecting play there. That's a beautiful little bait there with the AWP shot to the... what would be the CT's left if he was coming from CT, allowing Lowell to get the element of surprise on his peak. I love the element of detail there. Shooting the pot to create a distraction. Don't often see that.
For me, this is a really weird matchup between these 2 teams, because I feel like Complexity can't be prepared for, but I'd be hella surprised if Complexity had prepared for this particular HellRaisers as well, which makes things unusual. 8-0 in favor of HellRaisers. They came in talking about advantages of the unknown Complexity, but the known is 0 rounds for them and 8 rounds for HellRaisers. So they better start playing to that advantage. They've had max loss bonus for days, but on this round, it'll be pistols for the most part. This is the buy between the buys. A crap buy.
Yeah, certainly a strange one. I would have expected, I suppose, from both of the teams to have a good CT side, but as we can see, Complexity are having a bad CT side. A handful of utility for Complexity against the full armament of HellRaisers. They are stacked tooth and nail, and here we go. Ricky finds a quick one at the P250 in the push towards second middle, but there's no follow-up. I suppose if there was to be one, if you were to say that there was, it's in apartments. It's the second phase of the defense here for Complexity. And here goes Lowell walking straight into it, but he'll deal with the first one. Obo can't find himself the second. Shazam, though, he is a dab hand with the Deagle. He's going to dig Angel into tomorrow.
I love the storm from the T's, the urgency in the apartments. They know it's a precarious position against the CTs. The longer you take, if you're going to push it, the more time they have to set up and do something funky. So they just charge. Risk involved, but it works out. Shazam, what does he choose to do with his AK-47? It would potentially help one of his teammates to have an AK over an M4. And I don't know how much chance they really have of winning this round unless they are served something for free. And having not being served something, they will slowly move the AK away from the danger of the A-bomb site. HellRaisers moving to 9. Nuki's 13 for 3. He's 13 for 4.
I was just about to mention that. Yeah, he's been playing really well for HellRaisers. He's got them out of some nasty little spots.
Goodbye, my friends.
Yeah. Well, that's fine for HellRaisers. They're 9 rounds ahead, so at this point, you don't care as much about your economy when you got some players over 10k anyway.
If he went towards the pit, he probably would have survived if he had an eye on where the bomb was planted. Because that money could still come in handy. A nice shot from Def, but they got 0 rounds. They're 0 for 9. Nice shots, just won't cut it. Sick is 1 for 8 at the moment. That's not good.
No, it's not. They've struggled so hard on this TT side. HellRaisers are. So far, a lot of it has been the individual play, it's just been superior. We've seen some good tactical stuff from HellRaisers as well to back it up with, and that's a huge problem. You know, Oscar had a clutch. You've seen Yuki with some great entries and a clutch or 2 as well. But generally, HellRaisers also just winning map control and outmaneuvering Complexity ultimately.
Ooh,
Complexity
Angel
struggling to win Banana.
Angel does not want to get popped in that position again by the logs. The late second HE will do the job though. So another 5 versus 4 from Banana for Complexity. And it seems this time they're going to go back and try and retake it. Defcon is not in position with any flashbangs, so Ricky almost gets taken out completely. Sick trying to do something, but nothing doing just yet. And Nuki's got to be careful though, because he's there alone, entertaining. And the bomb is still around the corner from T-Ramp, so if HellRaisers make inroads towards A in the meantime, then if he is to pick up that bomb, he needs to stay alive. Some grenades being executed. We've got 2 players towards the arch position. Shazam smoked off, probably take a shot before he moves. Oboe in the pit. You can see jumping on the bike, you can see over the wall. You can crouch and be hidden and stand up and then see over the wall. So something people at home should be using.
This is actually a decent spot for HellRaisers. All the retake of top Banana could have been awful for Complexity if their timing was a little bit later, because HellRaisers have just shown their push here, or rather they were just about to push this. Nuki's going to go through the smoke. Great spray onto Def, finds one. That's the opening they needed. They need a quick push, and Nuki gives it to them. Oh, follows up with the trade onto Sick. Now it's a bomb down. A 3 versus 3 for HellRaisers. Can they hold on again? Can they deny another round to Complexity? Not if that happens.
With Shazam taking construction, this one's going to be more difficult. Oscar's got angles though by the fountain. There's a flashbang to force him away. And that's going to give more real estate to Shazam. A crouch pick from Oscar. Nothing doing this time. It's down to Lowell, but Shazam will deliver the first round for Complexity. 1 for 9. It is not over just yet. There is plenty of money though for HellRaisers, which means plenty of pressure. So Complexity need consecutive rounds. They need, aim for 5 at this point. It's not ideal, but aim for 5.
Yeah, this was a great series, a great passage of play from Mr. Shazam here. You can see this is just all reaction from here on out, especially this last one. Oh, never mind. I got denied. Either way, Complexity will pick up 1, but there's so much more here for them to be done as HellRaisers, as you mentioned, James, they are reaching into their pockets and they'll find another big buy. Big push from Yuki. Oh my god, the HE, the Molotov damage, it is really bad for Complexity. Yuki is going to die here, but look at all the health that's been diminished now for Complexity. Both Def and Shazam have lost half their health apiece, as well as losing Sick to all the utility at the beginning of the rounds.
Look at the rotation, though, from Complexity. They don't believe that HellRaisers are going to commit to this B bomb site. Maybe it wouldn't make sense to them, so they're rotating 2 players towards the A area. Riquet left alone. He does have a smoke, but they've made a mistake. They took a gamble towards A. They were trying to read what HellRaisers would do, and they were mistaken. HellRaisers have now taken the B bomb site. They have position. They don't have any more smokes, which is something. And this time, there's more utility for Complexity to risk a retake. Do they boost over New Box with the AWP? That would be interesting. You can see the grenades flying in from Complexity, the flashbangs being avoided. Lowell's got Banana, which leaves 3 players to defend the rest of the B bomb site.
Yeah, this is actually kind of very hard to hold as a T's if you don't have construction, and your CTs have lots of utility. And if Rick is hitting shots like that, we'll see what else he can do as he pushes forwards. Def will take point there with that M4. Angel's got so much to worry about there. Preemptive spray comes in. They find him. Great headshot there, but he can't do anything else. It's up to Lowell, but he's stuck behind a smoke. And that bomb is very close to detonation. He might not make it. Oh, it's so close. That is so desperately close for Complexity, but they'll still pull it off in the nick of time. A second round, but these rounds are coming very difficult. They are very difficult for Complexity, though.
Very difficult indeed. I respect the proactiveness of it, though. With all that exchange Complexity thought, okay, maybe they're going to make a play towards the A-bomb site, rotate 2 players out, leave Riquet alone. But HellRaisers, I don't know if they heard the rotation. Again, if you are, well, they didn't have position, but if you are behind the sandbags from like a CT perspective in the corner, you can hear people on Speedway. That wasn't the case, though, so not so relevant. But anyway, for whatever reason, HellRaisers chose to pursue the B-bomb site, and there was only 1 player there when they took it. Again, if they had 1 smoke, for example, if they had 1 smoke, because it was a double AWP retake, if they had 1 smoke, then maybe that would be a very different round. But they didn't. They didn't, and it's the 2nd round on the board for Complexity. And now the money has disappeared in 2 rounds. HellRaisers have another bye, but they've got nothing left in the hole. So if HellRaisers are to lose this round, then maybe 6 is possible for Complexity.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is how it happens. You know, it doesn't matter how it looks as long as you get it done at the end of the day. Shazam, is he going to go for a deep peek? Is he going to go all the way? No. He'll show presence, though, with a quick shot into thin air. But a shot into thin air is sometimes good enough to at least slow things down to make them use more nades. But speaking of which, doesn't slow HellRaisers down even a beat. They are going very quickly. Shazam just barely makes it across to cover as Obo will cover for him. Issa goes down. The headshots for Obo looking quite lethal, but he's unable to take down Angel. There's players all over the place. It's so hard to keep track of here for the CTs. They are so fast moving, these HellRaisers players. Although looks like sanity's been restored here as we go into the 2 versus 3.
That smoke is terrible. There's a big gap, and Sick is in a 1 versus 2. Flash over the roof. The bomb's been planted. Sees the trajectory. He can still creep, but maybe Lowell's got a superior angle in a graveyard position. I'm sure he has not been detected. Sick's got 3 bullets in the magazine. He can't reload because he'll concede his position, so he's got to get a 1 versus 2 with 3 bullets. How on earth is he going to do that? Is he even aware of how many bullets he has left? Nothing doing just yet. Let's see if he goes for the tap. Well, it'll be Nuki to engage first, and it's double figures for HellRaisers. An important round for them to win, all things considered, with the economy. And here they are, 10-2.
Yeah, what I have been really enjoying from HellRaisers is their decisiveness. They're not afraid, if they have the right spacing and so on, to just go for it. And that's really important. We've seen them do it on the B-bomb site time and again, and it's often worked out well for them. And we just saw it there towards the top mid position. The smoke goes down. The TTs expect that they have a little bit of time to rotate, but no. That timing window is exploited by HellRaisers. Beautiful stuff from them. And Nuki, he's 17 for 4 right now, I believe. And that is quite a stunning performance. Definitely of this lineup, he is the newest name to this level of Counter-Strike, I think, for most people. And well, that's certainly to the team. So HellRaisers, you know, Angel said in the interview, he said, hey, you know what? We don't have the best mental game, but if things are going well, we are capable of anything, and you can see why with the players such as they have on the team.
Light on utility, heavy on smoke grenades, Complexity, but that's one that's gone missing, as well as Obo. Put him on a milk carton. Def has been left on the B-bomb site once again. He's got a smoke in the hole. The only one left for Complexity. That situation changed pretty quickly. Now, with 3 players towards A and 1 towards B, do Complexity make a forward play with Shazam to get the information? Because boy, do they need it. Indeed, they do. Ricky making his way up, but Def's been taken out in the meantime. And surely this round's over. They are not in position to go for a retake. They don't have the utility. They've got a FAMAS on Ricky. And it's a 3 versus 5. So Complexity are storming this first half of Inferno. Very cutthroat situation in the best-of-1 series. And again, for me, it was an unknown in both directions. So far, so good for HellRaisers. By no means does this mean they're going to win the map. We'll see what Complexity can do towards the end of this half. Yeah,
Counter-Strike is a game of 2 sides, isn't it? And it's such a difficult spot for some teams to... I mean, some teams look so good on, let's say, you know, a T side, or so, you know, but they may really struggle on the other half entirely. It may look like a completely different team. So to at least have a chance, we hope that, you know, Complexity can eke out at least 1 or 2 more rounds here. Obviously, only 2 more is possible at this point, but we'll see if they're able to do it. They do save an AWP, which is always good. And HellRaisers, they are very confident. I'm really enjoying, again, their confidence from them. they look very decisive. We're seeing it repeatedly. And do get a timeout coming in here. HellRaisers slowing things down, having a chat.
A chit-chat, a chin-wag, a parlay. You know, a group of owls is called a parliament of owls.
Really?
Yeah.
Love it. That's cool.
Indeed. Trading cards with Epic's GG. Get yourself some trading cards. You got Kenny S. Always a good one to pick up. Device though on that 99, boy.
Nice.
We'll soon be back into this one. Parliament of Owls.
That makes sense because they kind of look like they are, you know, from aristocracy or something. Aristocratic.
Double FAMAS, double French guns for the likes of Complexity. Nuki with a forward smoke grenade on Banana to try and limit the positions that CTs can take. Plenty of grenades though. Down Banana from Complexity. You can see all that blue on Banana. All those grenades being deployed. They're not quick on getting that rotation towards the A-bomb site, however. Now, Complexity, HellRaisers, do they go for something fast? There is a smoke towards top mid at present, but they're in position to burst through it. Oboe takes the second one out, tries to transfer for the first. That's not going to happen. The smoke's on the balcony. Sorry, the bomb's on the balcony. That's all the information they need. There's a smoke on the arch position, and their outmaneuvering is done. We've got flashbangs towards top mid. We've got HEs through the library onto the side. That's pretty good. And the bomb's planted for the pit position. 4 versus 3 for HellRaisers.
This is so scary. They are just using all their might and just punching a hole in to Complexity early in the round. And look at the defense here with York. What are you going to do against that? Oscar's holding the peak with his AWP respectively. And now it's time to turn tail and run and salvage what you possibly can in the end of this round. This was an anticlimactic one. Again, HellRaisers have found that brute force, targeted brute force, has been working out for them very, very well. And it's not looking good, man. It's going to be 12 rounds for HellRaisers now at this point, and the 13-2 is looking likely. It has really appeared to be the case that Complexity have been outclassed so far by HellRaisers. And even if HellRaisers have a much worse CT side, you would imagine that getting 2-3 rounds should be quite doable. Beautiful shot there from Oscar from the Palace, the B apartments position.
Last round of the first half. Good buys for both squads, but one is doing a lot better than the other. See what the approach to Banana is. This time there's only 2 players for Complexity, maybe conditioned to fear after that previous round. The fast play from HellRaisers. The timing's been perfect in a number of rounds from HellRaisers. The previous round was good evidence of that. Of course, the 2-man rotation from B to A and the continued push from HellRaisers was another example. It has been one half where they have not been wanting, but the same cannot be said for Complexity. Again, they've got everything to prove with this new roster. 2 months off the radar, looking to shock the world. It's not happening just yet, or maybe it is for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, default here from HellRaisers. They got that apartments take, and they got top Banana now. So typically you'd expect it to be time for the top mid take. And with 4 players towards the top mid position, Complexity have designed this defense to deal with the default, to deal with the top mid take. And losing a player towards Banana as well as mid does not bode well for HellRaisers in this round. Perhaps finally Complexity can get themselves another round.
Smoke towards CT on B. Counter grenade from Shazam. That concedes some position, a second grenade. But the bomb doesn't seem to be committed just yet. It's on Banana. In the meantime, we've got a push from Lowell in the arch area. He's going to win his duel with Ricky. Now what? The bomb has not been seen by the CTs. They don't know what's going on. There's a potential wrap, and it seems that HellRaisers are considering their options. That's their first frag of the round. Now, the bomb's being left bottom mid for it to be collected by Nuki. So it looks like Lowell and Oscar will be pursuing the A-bomb site. We've got 2 CTs playing in the pit. There's 10 seconds and the bomb's just about making it to top mid now. So this surely ends in disaster for HellRaisers. Off angles from Oboe, but he can't stop the bomb from making it to the site. But 6 certainly can stop it from getting planted. And there is a much needed 3rd round for Complexity.
Oh, only 3 rounds, so we'll have to see if they can find a recovery after the break. We are back, but are Complexity back? That's the question. We'll hopefully find the answer out very soon, because they had a horrible, horrible first half on the CT side. They couldn't find their footing. They were sliding all over the place. They couldn't get up, James. When you get knocked down, you're supposed to get up again.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Well, at least it wasn't a 15-0 like INTZ suffered earlier on today. They have a little more breathing room than that. And now they start on the T side. They've got some forward spawns. There could be some aggressive flashes towards Banana. Then again, maybe not. Maybe their plan is something utterly different. Ricket heading towards top mid, where he'll be facing 2 CTs. The point of no return is where Nuki is. Tries to turn tail and run, but it's too late. That's a lovely one-tap with a P250 for Sick. A P250 on T side Inferno. Very, very rare. You don't see it often enough, in my opinion. The numbers now trying to abuse them, those numbers towards the B bomb site, but the 1v1s will still prevail for Lowell with a 3K, a 4K Lowell looking for the ace. He's got 2 bullets left. Holding down the bomb site for his team. This could have just crushed the dreams of Complexity. Can he make it? Yes, he can. There is the ace for Lowell, and he's pretty damn happy with that.
Holy guacamole, look at him go. Oh, man, when he was sitting first orange, I was thinking to myself, he could get a couple here. You know, you're visualizing, you're timing it, you're trying to space it out, you're trying to make sure that you control everything, but you don't expect to get the entire team. What a beautiful performance from Lowell. And if Complexity had any chance in coming back, the percentages just nosedived, went up in flames.
It's been made a little harder.
Lowell showing why he is on the team, 14 for 5. What an ace from him. Angel straight down middle. Does get it. Oh, God. Oh, dear. Nope. Abandon. Abandon ship. Aborts. Hit the big red button. This has gone horribly wrong. Oscar gets a few licks of damage through the smoke with that one as he swaps out for the FAMAS. But this has reached desperation now for HellRaisers. They've got to make some interesting decisions here, James.
Yeah, this is the kind of anarchy you don't want to be subjected to when you are in such a strong position. You don't want to give anything to your opponent, but somehow they've lost 2 players so early, HellRaisers.
They underestimated. They didn't think that there would be a force buy. That's the only reason I can imagine. Because if there's a force buy, running down middle is extremely dangerous. If there's an eco, you just decimate it.
Yeah, you're just opening doors for your opponent. You don't want to do that. This is not the time to be polite. You can see Complexity trying to back off, but it's HellRaisers who are at the advantage, and just like that, it turns around. Nuki with a 3K with a UMP. Leaves Def alone. Again, opportunities come and go. Rings the bell, Def. Maybe there is a chance. Now, how can they move in for a double peek? You can see Oscar moving up, but Def is smart with the smoke grenade. He's got another one, and he's got position to collect the bomb. He's only got 4 bullets left in the CZ-75, but Oscar's behind the smoke, and is it worth the risk to push it? Of course it's not. So maybe there's still a chance here. Def, he's going for the frag, it seems, rather than the bomb plant. That's quite the gap, actually, for Oscar. So never mind that. But how long will he hold his position for? He's got to realize the potential for a rotation. Def making his way to boiler, but Oscar's still not considering it. After so much time, there was so little time on the clock. Someone's got to say something. God. Tunnel vision, and then some.
Oh my God. There's so many weird moments there. Firstly, it's the fact that I mean, to me, the round that they played is something you do against a full eco only, typically speaking, unless you have full rifles or nades to back it up, which they didn't really have. And you can toss the deep incendiary, so you at least get a trade and they can't follow it up. But so that's one mistake that was made. And then, I mean, thank God for Nuki. You know, he gets a 3K being ultra aggressive, which is insane in its own right. But then for Def to get 3 kills out of the season, it just is crazy. It's just absolutely crazy how that actually, how the maths on that one actually added up.
The will to survive. 9 rounds required from Complexity to tie things up, and HellRaisers may have made a grave mistake. Angel with the 5-7, not as good as it used to be. Issa can follow up just for the 1 frag, though. Nothing crazy happening. 5-7 is well, to me at least, a constant disappointment these days. Therefore, contribute. He'll get his bell rung, though. And the CTs will know that as well. But Obo spots one of the remaining 2, and that will limit the risk at this point. Nuki will want to hold on to his FAMAS. Shazam making his way down. Now, he's got to realize that that's to collect the bomb. There's no other reason that he would be going down towards the T-ramp, but, oh, Nuki's just going to walk to his doom. He may not have realized that Shazam was going towards the T-ramp position there. I feel like if he had made a few more steps, maybe he would have realized, hold on, with those frags towards a And Def early towards Banana. Why on earth would he be going towards T-Ramp? Sometimes it's because the bomb's there.
I've been learning about Nuki this game so far, James. You know, I don't think I've had the pleasure of casting him before, and I have learned that he is a mad lad.
I like his sense of urgency and his willingness to go down on the sword that we saw on the T side towards Banana. That was pretty cool, and that's what you kind of want to see from a player who's potentially playing entry, at least in those particular rounds. Now, HellRaisers have basically nothing. They've got a pop flash. They've got a pop flash scenario, and Complexity may move into it with 3 players. Okay. Now, there was a Molotov up. Oh my god, I don't even have time to talk about this because we've got 3 USP kills on Banana, and we've still got Oscar creeping and Boiler in the meantime. He's got a sound cues at the very least. He's seen one of them. He hasn't seen the bomb, though. The bomb, again, is on T-Ramp, and it is to be collected. But in the meantime, there will be position for HellRaisers. There will be weapons. They've got a Krieg. They've got an AK-47. Obo's got a MAC-10.
Oh my goodness, this is something, isn't it? Nuki with a fantastic position. He'll spot 1. He was spotted too, but just him spotting 1 in a situation like this, he peeks. This is what I'm talking about. He's crazy. A lot of players will just fall back there a little bit, maybe jump peek it, not commit, but he's just committed there, and he's been punished. Brilliant from Obo. It's absolutely brilliant to punish that. Look at what is happening here. He's caused a rotation. However, given the information of the 2 players towards T-Ramp, it allowed the CTs to move somebody, Angel, up towards the apartments. And now he's been spotted. Obo manages to make his way past. There's a quick smoke to get a plant down. And guaranteeing the plant in the situations, how are you going to be able to win this round? Angel knows he has to move quickly down into the smoke. Obo is in some trouble now. That's not gone exactly where he's wanted. He's now stuck in this position, and out comes Low with the AK at the exact perfect timing. And it's going to be HellRaisers picking this one up and looking to try to collect some weapons before they commit to the full defuse there. And that is a round and a half. I do not understand the shenanigans towards top Banana, but that was a committed play from Complexity that just did not work out.
It was so crazy because the Molotov went down first to clear out an area. I don't know who threw the smoke. We saw 2 CTs creeping through the smoke as the player behind the sandbags got their first kill. This is absolutely disastrous. A disastrous game of Inferno for Complexity so far. But that said, both these teams have a bye in this particular round, so it's not over yet. Ricke's on the MAC-10. Everybody's got a helmet, so he'll have an extra job to do with that. But we'll see how it plays out. If he's not too aggressive, then maybe he picks up an AK later on. We shall see. He's got some flashes over the top. Oscar has a look towards the pit. If you're on the other side of mid as a T, behind that half wall, if a flash comes over and you're blind and you try and crouch there, your head can still be seen and you'll just get absolutely blasted by the cannon of the AWP. Complexity moving through the apartments now, and Def, he's in position where you throw a flashbang, except he doesn't have a flashbang, so there's not going to be a burst play from the balcony.
Yeah, we get ourselves a potential burst there, but it looks like HellRaisers are quite ready. The positioning is not bad for them. Nuki's in the A-bomb side itself, and they've got top mid's presence, HellRaisers. Oscar's there with the AWP, and there's no smoke to deny information, top mid. So Complexity might be gambling a little bit hard here, considering that they didn't smoke off Archway, or at least Oscar has presence on Arch towards top mids. HellRaisers can easily read the pressure on towards Banana here is more likely to be a B play than anything else. So they can start to rotate somebody. They're going to be holding too tight to the site as Lowell's going to be forced to defend there from Oranges, and he's going to make it happen. Angel absolutely dominating with the Krieg, and that's going to be 15-5 for HellRaisers as they wipe Complexity off this server.
What a game from HellRaisers. What a game from HellRaisers. As much as I like to see Complexity succeed, I'm a big fan of Oscar. I think stylistically he's a very enjoyable sniper to watch, and that this is fantastic for the HellRaisers team. Again, a team who've been up and down. I mean, the one constant has been Angel, but this is very far away from what they used to be many moons ago. Looking very strong at the moment, but again, maybe a little early to really figure out where they are, despite this performance so far. Have to see them versus more opponents. Sick standing between 2 Molotovs. That flashbang may just about help him. Shazam's going to get taken down instead. Sick behind the wall still. There he goes finally. And there's more bullets to be deployed by Angel, leading by example. We've got Issa on the porch roof. leaving Def and Oboe alone with Desert Eagles with 10 rounds to win from 10. Otherwise, it is to the back of the queue for Complexity.
I just want to say that kill from Angel, the first one, is just simply unfair. It's just simply unfair.
Surplus to requirements.
I can't wait to see a replay of that. We've got to have that. That was so ridiculous. And, well, it's a slow but inevitable bleed from Complexity, and there's only one result, and that is the death of Complexity here on Inferno. Nice shot, though, from Death. 15 HP with the Deeg. You know exactly where he is. You can see they're starting to rotate now to box him in. Don't want to take any chances here. It's a 4 versus 1. Should never, ever, ever lose this, and they simply won't. Oscar picks it up, and it's a 16-5 sweep from HellRaisers. Beautiful performance from them. They looked indomitable.
Complexity helpless against the tide of HellRaisers on Inferno. And again, HellRaisers with not the best map pool in terms of win percentages and so on, but the average was such that it wasn't such a big deal. But again, they were like 22%-ish on Inferno, and that was a Storm King performance from them. But again, we don't know what to make of Complexity just yet because we haven't seen him for 2 months, but that was a horror of a game.
Oh yeah, that was a struggle. They could never really find any footing. And on the CT side, when it's such a struggle to really maintain control of anything as they were, it really seemed like HellRaisers just had the map control they wanted at any point, and they were always a step ahead. And not only that, you had the issue that when needed, HellRaisers individuals stepped up. But most importantly for me, Nuki, he was a consistent performer. He had great entry frags, and he had this great confidence in situations that didn't look all that good for HellRaisers. He seemed to be very good, and the first port of call to bail them out.
His forward plays on Banana on the T side were really interesting. Issa got 6 frags in that
That's crazy.
in that series. I guess the utility was the order of the day there. So here's a head-to-head, but it was all about HellRaisers from start to finish. Absolute dominance from HellRaisers. A very strong performance from them. That's one of the strongest performances I remember seeing from HellRaisers.
Yeah, that's a great game. I cannot wait to see what else they have in store. Obviously, they have a lot to prove in this, and it looks like, you know, that's despite the first loss that they took, I'm hoping that they can get some more good results on the board.
Yeah, and for Complexity, it's 0-2, but not quite barbecue. That's 0-3 territory, and they'll join Tyloo and INTZ in that 0-2 situation. And we'll see if Greyhound or Force will join them there soon enough. But that is not the start they wanted. Again, 2 months off the radar, moving into the major, and 2 losses to show for it.
Yeah, they don't want it to be a month off the server as well. And you can see that still 3 more games to be played here on our schedule. Fury and Crazy, I think that's going to be a really interesting match. And Force also are a team that are quite exciting to me, James. Obviously, Mousesports and the Vanguard is currently going on the other stream.
Yeah, Force are an interesting team. They look strong at the minor, but now we're at the major. And the teams are stronger as well. So to have a consistent performance is going to be the challenge, and that is what we are going to see soon enough. That is scheduled to start at 1/2 the hour, but maybe it'll start a little earlier than that. Greyhound versus Fours. That's a curious one. Again, you and I saw plenty of Fours at the minor, and against those teams, they look stronger. But again, most of those teams were eliminated. Only a few of those made it to the major, where there's going to be a high level of skill. So it's all well and good to look strong versus weaker teams, but now you're up against stronger teams with stronger and stronger teams to come.
Hey,
Can
man,
you keep up that consistency?
They look better than Simon Gaming and Dream Eaters, yet you know, look at those guys go. Well, it's time for a break. The game will be up next, and the action will talk for us. See you for that.